And the man was riding up alongside me. He made the block 4 times. So I'm looking like, girl, this man following me? And I'm kind of glad he did follow me because, girl, when we got into that bedroom and I seen that wood, we was in for a good time.
Tell me what's your motive?
What's going on, my gals and my gays and my straight boys, and to everyone that's going to find this video eventually. Hi, how are you? My name is Coda Comedian, the Godfather in the flesh, and I am back with another YouTube video for you guys. Before I get into this video, you guys, let's get into the mug of it all. Like, I am so pretty. No, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. I am a really pretty, handsome ass man. No shade. Whose side profile gives like this? I don't know. I don't know whose side profile gives like mine, but I just give. But you guys, I miss you so much. I am back in the comfort of my home. I feel safe and secure because we got some things to talk about. We have a lot of topics to cover, and I know that title bought you, made you kind of click this video to see what I'm talking about, and it's a lot. I must say, looking back on this story now, this moment in my life now, it is hilarious, but I kid you not. The 16 to 17-year-old me versus the grown 23 version of me now are two completely different people. The me now, I have morals. I have morals and values. But the me back then, the 16, 17-year-old Cole, was like, bitch, what is morals? Who is she? Is she a tax preparer? Who is she? I never said, what's my name, morals? Do not know her, never heard of her. I don't know morals. Girl, back in the day, back in the G, girl, what was morals? All I knew was a good time. And a good time had to be had by me always. But before I jump into this juicy story time, be sure to be sure to comment, be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Click that bell to be notified of all my latest updates. You guys, I'm just not seeing the numbers I want to see. What's it giving? You clicked on this video and you did not like it, and you did not subscribe? Why is that? Am I not giving? The mug alone sets the tone what this video is going to be. So I think you definitely should click that. I think you should. Yeah, you. The pretty one, right? You're pretty, right? So from pretty bitch to pretty bitch, why aren't you hitting subscribe? What's the problem? So yeah, I think you should. I'll wait. I'll hold. You hit it? Alright, thank you, boo. Thank you so much, number 7. Let's get into this video. You guys, this story time will take place a couple years back. I believe I was about 16 or 17. You guys, in that age range, we all know when nighttime comes out, we just have the urge to get touched. We just have to get touched and teased. And me back then, I'm not going to hold you. I wanted it every night. It didn't matter who touched me. I just not wanted to get touched. Now, saying it out loud makes me kind of sound like a whore. But back in the day, like I say, back in the G, I didn't concern myself with that. I'll outgrow that label when I grow up. I'm a child, I paid that, it didn't really matter. And plus, people my age were doing it all the time, so I'm not the first and I won't be the last. That's how I took it. I was about, I think, 16 years old. Every night, for some reason, I just had the urge to sneak out of my grandma's apartment. You guys, I stayed in an apartment with my grandmother. It was me and about 3 other siblings. So it was 5 people in the household. Me and my younger brother shared a room. And every night around 12 o'clock, I don't know, something just washed over me. It was the urge to creep across the floor. It was the urge to just, tiptoe through the apartment to make sure everybody was asleep. I would open my grandmother's door every night to make sure she was sound asleep. And then to really test how hard of a sleeper that she was, I had to test the waters before I sneak out the apartment. So, I don't know. I just would go in the hallway and just throw something. I'll probably throw a shoe hard as hell. I'll probably throw a shoe in the hallway just to test how hard was she sleeping. So I'll just take a shoe and just go boom and hit the hallway floor with it to try to wake everybody up to see how hard you're sleeping. If I still hear you snore after that, the coast was clear. It's time to go. So you guys, every night I had like a pair of pajamas. I gotta describe it to you guys. I gotta describe what my attire was going out. So when I was about 16, I would get these pajamas. Mind you, they were like some form-fitted pajamas. I would put them on, right? And I had some boots. I had boots. I don't know why I had these boots, but when I put the boots on, like the pants leg of the pajama, I would just tuck them into the boot, and I would tie the shoestring, so everything will be form-fitted, you know? It'll be sleek, it'll be slender, everything is tucked in. We don't have no wide leg pajamas, so everything will be form-fitted, you know? And the back of the pajamas where the butt, like, you know, where the ass sits, I would kind of, sort of, really just would take the back part and push it in to accentuate the curves, you know? Like, come on now. Like, you guys know what I'm referring to. Like, when you take some pants and it's like, I want the back to give a little bit more, so you would take the flap and just push it in and tuck it in between the cheeks, so everything would just give voluptuous, bitch. Like, that's what I would do. And once I got myself, you know, made up, I would open my window. I go out the same window every night. And back then, when I snuck out, I had to take the screen off the window. You guys, y'all know the screen on the window. When you're in the hood, in the projects, I had screens on windows. So you would take it off and knock it to the ground. And I didn't like that method because every morning my grandma would walk out, because I'm pretty sure she knew I was doing something I had no business. So sometimes she would walk out and catch my screen on the ground. Girl, I pushed that screen so hard to get out the window, y'all. And girl, when I breathed that night air, it just made my hormones throb. Like, girl, I'm outside. It is 12. Like, let me check my point. Like, it is 12, right? 12:01. It is 12. Everybody is out. Like, the freaks are out at night, right? So let's just walk around. Let's see what we can find. And mind you, I was going out to have a good time with whomever. Hopefully it was someone my age, because mind you, I had a lot of DL boys in my school. Like, I've caught down little boys sneaking in apartments at night with other boys. I've seen it all. I have seen it all. So I was kind of sort of hoping it would be somebody my age, but for some reason, I always attracted older men. I don't know what it was, but older men had some big peck of wood. So it kind of worked out for me. Like I said, I snuck out and I would walk across town. Because I know on the highways and byways, you don't want to be caught there, because like I said, grown-ups are still out at night. So if they catch you walking on the highway, they might tell your grandmother, your mom, like, bitch, I saw so-and-so walking past the store around 12 o'clock one night. And they'll be like, what? And then all eyes will be on you. So I used to always take the back streets. And on these back streets, that's where the trade would linger. Like, it was like every night they'll just like,
where that boy with the pajamas at? I always see him walking every night, so where is he?
Yo, I had so much fun on these nights, you guys. I kid you not. I would definitely go back in the day just to do this again, because it was such a thrill. Like, you guys, the men in my city, I'm not gonna hold you. No tea, no shade. My city did not have the best living conditions. Mind you, I'm from a small town, so it doesn't give big city rich vibes. You know, it gives very much rural, like, run-of-the-mill. Like, we got a few dilapidated houses, whatever. And that's what my city was, but it kind of like added the effect, like, okay, like, what if I get a trade and we have nowhere to go? And they got this abandoned house right there, like, we could just go up in there and make it our own, like, that could be our house that night, that's my kitchen, like. You guys, I have changed. I am a changed man. I have changed. I don't think like that no more. I do not think like that no more. But at the time, I did think like that. They had some trade. I would get catcalled. I would get whistled too, but they just weren't giving. Like, they weren't giving. My biggest fear was one of them might be my father. That's still my biggest fear. Like, what if a man I talk to from my city or whatever ends up like being my father? Like, that's a big fear of mine. That's a whole nother story to unpack. But that was kind of my biggest fear. So that's why I didn't like older men, but I always attracted them for some reason. And the younger boys did not want to play with me. Like, the younger boys did not want to play. Like, you would play with people younger than me, but you don't want to play with me. I went from this to like, what's up? So if I looked like this in school back then,
Heartbreaker.
the me back then was snatching men left and right, but the me like this, girl, y'all could never keep your man at home, and y'all couldn't keep him at home with me back then. So the me now, oh my girl, just let the man go, let him go. But I'm getting off track. So I went across town, and the men over there weren't just like, they weren't clicking with me. They weren't getting the areolas. They wasn't getting them perked up. It just wasn't giving what needs to be gave. So I went across town to what we call cross the bayou. Now you have back of town, which is the back part of town, kind of the slums. If we want to be real logical about it, back of town is the slums. Back of the town, slums. We have uptown. Uptown, to me, was where all the fun was at. Like, girl, I got some stories to tell y'all about Uptown. Uptown was that girl. But then we had Cross the Bayou, which is where I resided. So we have Cross the Bayou, we have Uptown in the middle, and we have the slums back of the town. I'm not calling them slums, but we all know where I'm from. That's what they say. So I went Uptown. Uptown was like, you know, it was decent. It was decent, you know. But the trade I've experienced up there had the biggest woods. Oh my gosh. Those uptown men, I don't know if it was something in the water, but y'all woods were so big and good. Like, in the tongue. But uptown didn't have nothing, and I wasn't going back of town because, you know. So I went back across the bayou, and this is where the trade I found. I'm gonna call him Black Cadillac because he had a black Cadillac. I found Black Cadillac across the bayou in my section. Let me tell you how I found him, you guys. After I walked from uptown, I was like, okay, so tonight is a bust, right? Because the men I'm seeing you, but I don't want to see you. Like, I see you're there, but I don't want to play with you. Like, I don't want to play with you. I went back home, across the bayou, thinking like, damn, like, so I'm not getting no wood tonight? Like, what? Y'all, I was so mad. I was so, like, I was pressed because I wanted to get played with so badly. And nobody was pulling at me. Like, no one was taking the bait. Like, bitch, I'm the worm. Like, where's the fish? Like, come bite me, bitch. Like, come on. I got back on my side of town, and I was walking on the street. And I'm not gonna hold you. I kept seeing a black Cadillac, kept making the block. And once I seen the same car 3 times drive past me, I was like, okay, bitch. Okay. Like, I see you, like, my good sir, I see you. Like, what are you doing? So, on the 4th time, it came back, but it slowed down. And I'm walking. Y'all know when we getting watched, but we trying to play it off like we don't know you're watching us. Like, I'm just minding my business. And he slowed down beside me and was like,
hey.
And I'm like, I looked the other way like, y'all heard something? Oh, what's up?
What you doing out here?
Nothing, just walking.
Trying to get into something?
Thank you.
I mean, maybe. Y'all, when a man talks to me, and back then, my hormones would just rage. I couldn't control myself. Like, girl, that's how I know. That's why I love a man. Because, man, back then, y'all, a man could just breathe hard by me, and I'm instantly aroused. Like, the me now, I got it under control, but the me back then didn't have self-control. So, he was talking to me, y'all riding slow, and he was like,
I'm trying to get into something. Like, you fine, I'm trying to get into something.
And I'm like, what you talking about? Like, what? And he was like,
my apartment around the corner. Come follow me over there.
And I'm like, okay, cool. Yo, y'all might say, bitch, you didn't get in the car? I'm like, no, bitch. Like, I'm not about to get in the car with no stranger. But ain't that weird that I will follow you to your apartment, but I wouldn't get in your car? Girl, the young Cole had so many issues. I did a lot of foolish things. I'm not gonna hold you. I did, and by the grace of the Lord and His mercy, I am still here. I am still here.
I'm still here.
Y'all remember that? Gina of House Party? That stupid ass song?
I'm still here.
So y'all followed him to his apartment. And still, when I go back to my hometown, I know exactly where this place is at. Y'all, he put the black Cadillac in. And he got out. He was a bigger man, you know. He was bald-headed. He was definitely taller than me. And he was a bigger man. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I know his food about to be small. I know he about to be small. Girl, we got up in the apartment, y'all. I was so nervous because it's like cold. Like your mind, when you really like, when lust just overtakes logic, that's bad. That's bad. Y'all, I had the mindset of lust over logic. Like, lust was up here, logic was in the pits. So when I was confronted by men, I was going to do manly grown man things. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. So I got into the apartment, right? It was one of those straight back apartments. If you don't know what a straight back apartment is down here, like a shotgun house. A shotgun house, in terms down here, is an apartment that goes straight to the back. Like, it's a long hallway and it have rooms on every side of the corridor. I want to say it's bedroom, you guys. I'll never forget this man bed because I never seen a bed like this. The bed, it was built as a regular bed, right? But on the bottom part of it, it had like black metal rod. And I guess it was because he was a bigger man and he probably broke his old beds. I don't know. So instead of having like a box spring, like the wooden box spring on the bottom, it was like metal. That's all I can remember about that bedroom. Because that bed, it got etched into my memory. Like, this is where you lay your head every night. It kind of gave like hospital bed vibes, like gurney vibes, bitch, like ambulance gurney type shit. And so we got into the bed, right? And y'all, he was touching on me, filling me up, right? Just like really caressing my body. Like I told you guys, I have like curves, like I have a really nice voluptuous body. And I was small as shit back then, so I was slender. I had this, like, my body was T, bitch, like tea bag type shit. Like I had it going on. Girl, he was touching on my body. He was feeling me up and down. He was caressing and squeezing. Then my clothes came off. His clothes dropped after. And girl, the pack of wood, the weakness, the self. I don't know if it was the work of the devil or the Lord himself to put this piece of meat in front of me. But I kid you not, I was quite hungry and I was committed to clearing the bone. I was committed. I was committed on this one. I was going to do the do. Mind you, before I do anything, I have to know, like, what's it giving with you like? You're not going to get the pound cake. You're not. But since I know where you stay at, we could always have something casual going on. So eventually you'll get the pound cake. So I went in with my questioning. I did my inspection. And before I did anything, you gotta go down on me. Girl, man. Ooh, he ate me like a Hawaiian roll, bitch. Oh my gosh. Like, girl. That man did that. I'm not gonna hold you. He did that. Girl, that man did his big. He did his big one. He did his big one. And I cannot be mad at him because he really did his big one on me. Like, he did that. In that hospital bed, he took me to hospice, bitch. Oh. Girl, he sucked the kidneys from my body, bitch. He sucked the kidneys out of my body. Bitch, I'd have been on dialysis playing with this man. Girl, he did that. He did his big one on me, girl, and I was enjoying it. Now, mind you, the man was in his late 30s, and he still stayed with his mom. She was in her 50s, right? And I was in the bedroom with her grown son, and I'm a child. That ain't right. But y'all, like, let's keep it a stack. Let's keep it a stack, no pennies. Y'all know, back in the G, that's how we were made, right? We were made because our parents decided to run the streets and get with somebody older than them, probably around the same age as us, and did unholy things, right? Right. So, when I come up and do the same thing that you did, why are you so mad at me? Don't hold me to no standard that you didn't do and then your own mom didn't do, because like we all did the same thing. Mind you, I understand you trying to, I get that. I honestly get that. But you can't nail me to the cross because I did something that you did. Like, we're young. We have needs and wants. And me, personally, me, I'm gonna get touched regardless of who don't like it. It may not be the right thing, but it damn sure felt right. Girl, he ate my juice box dry. And girl, I enjoyed every second of it. I truly did. And when it was time for me to step up to the plate, I'm sorry. If you're a child, you shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be here. Just walk out that door. Walk out that door right there, because you should not be here. Because me, bitch, me. I'm going to step every time I have to, because I'm going to make my name be known. Like, oh, him right there, the cute one. Oh yeah, he does that. Yeah, you're gonna have a good time with him. Yeah, he's gonna change your life. Because that was me at the time. Like me, I just felt like I was on a mission to change lives. Like I was going to give you the best you ever had, and you would come back for more. Like, why wouldn't you? After I made his legs shake, his toes curl, I did it for like a good maybe 10 minutes, because mind you guys, I've been out the apartment since 12. It is going on 2. And right after I stopped and we just laid up, my phone started ringing off the hook. Girl, back at home, my grandma woke up. Y'all, when I seen my phone kept ringing with my grandmother calling me, and then she called around town to get in touch with other people, so they were calling me. Like I had calls from my other cousins. Like, y'all, I was gagged. I could have died. That's what really cut the night short. Because it was going on 2 o'clock and the night was still young. Like, which I probably won't go in the house around probably 3 or 4. So when she kept calling me, y'all, I was so blown. I was like, oh my gosh, really? Like, imagine this. My grandma walking the floor, so nervous about her grandchild. Like, where he could be at. And I'm in the bed, laid up with a man with a big pipe in my hand. That is so ironic, and I am so sorry for that. Mom, I apologize, because I know, girl. I know I gave you some scares. Some nights when you walk in there and you seen I wasn't in that room, and I was always laid up with a man. So, girl, she was calling my phone, and I just paid it at that point. I was like, I gotta go. My grandma calling me. And, y'all, I'm like 16, 17 at this point, so it's like, girl, like, let me live. Like, let me live. And I would get so mad, because it's like, I'll be like, I'm grown. Like, you don't gotta keep doing it. Like, I'm coming back home, like I'm just out enjoying myself. It's like I make my own money, I work, I pay bills. Like, you treat me grown, like I do grown things, so let me be grown. Grown people stay out late, so let me stay out late. So she was calling, y'all, and I just left and went home. But before I got home, I was like, I mean, I'm out. Like, what can she do? Like, you're out the house, what can she do? So let's just make the best of this night before we go home and probably be on lockdown for the days to come. So I don't know what came over me, you guys. And to the people I did this to, I apologize. Before I say what happened, I'll say I'm sorry. Y'all know those like pothole covers they use for like the highway, like to cover potholes, like those. Remember back in the day, they had like the sewage lids on the ground and it had sewer written on top, but they had something that said for like water, like the water valves in the ground where people pump water at. That's what I'm referring to. Basically, it was a cover on the ground and it was made of metal. I just randomly picked up that cover and I threw it at somebody's apartment and cracked the windows. I don't know. Maybe that was me acting out because I was mad that I had to leave this big Godiver back at this apartment, like this big mussy. I had to leave it. So I guess I was acting out in anger and I cracked someone's window. So when I made my way back to the apartment, girl, my mom was on the phone. And y'all, I didn't make the situation no better because I came back with no shoes on. Girl, my grandma was on the phone with my mom and it's something. Cause then he come back over here with no shoes on. Y'all, the boots were in my hand. I was like, I took the boots off because my feet was hurt. Like, it was some type of excuse. Like, but I had socks on, but the boots were in my hand. So she painted a picture like, girl, he come over here with no shoes on. Where you was at? What you was doing? I said, man, I was just out chilling with some friends. Oh my God, like, let it go. It's not a big deal, girl. Next thing I know, the police showed up.
I'm ready to get the fuck ASAP after this shit.
And she was like, he gotta go because he not listening, he not doing it. And it was like, ma'am, he's 16, like, we can't take him. Like, he's back at home. I understand you upset, you're frustrated, but he's back at home. He doesn't look harmed. Yo, whole time my throat was harmed. Like standing outside with my mouth open wide, head ass, like, Like, sir, my throat was harmed in the making of this video. Girl, I gagged the shit out of those people. Like, I was so nonchalant about it because I'm over it at this point. Like, the night is over. I'm back home. I'm in one piece, kind of, sort of. Like, I'm back at home. Like, let it go. Pay it. Pay it, Miss Woman. It's over. Like, let it go. But y'all know how grandmothers are. They keep talking about it. And then when the morning time comes, you go to school, you come back home, everybody know about it. Girl, yeah, I got caught by my grandma that night. And then she called my mom. And then the police came over. Girl, it was just a lot. Oh, yeah. And before I end this video, the next day we had to go to school, right? And so I'm going to school with all this on my mind about the night before. And then when the kids got on the bus that had the cracked window, I was like, "Ooh, what happened to y'all window?" And it was like, "Man, somebody cracked it last night." And in my head, I was cackling. I was like, "This you is a menace. Like, why would you do that?" They didn't do nothing to me. Y'all, it was cool that night, and I wanted them to feel the cool air, so I cracked their window. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. The 16-year-old me had problems. I came a long way. Well, that will wrap up this YouTube video. Did you guys enjoy? Did you guys laugh? But before I go, yo, the man wood was like, yo, it was, oh my. So, shout out to that man. Like, shout out to you, sir, because I had a great time with you. And I'm mad that we only had one experience together, but I mean, I did my job, you know? I did my job. But that will wrap it up for this YouTube video. So if you've made it this far,
be sure to like, be sure to subscribe
to this YouTube channel. Hit that bell to be notified of all my latest updates. Be sure to follow my Instagram, my Twitter, my TikTok. Link down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.